The story is titled, My Fiancée Spent $8,000 of our wedding fund on her ex's bail. I canceled the venue, kept the ring, and she found out at the rehearsal dinner when no one showed up. I feel like I'm typing this from the smoking crater of my own life. I'm Matt, 31, male, software engineer, spreadsheet nerd, allegedly the calm one. I've always been the guy who pays bills early, keeps a 3-month emergency fund, and double-checks the stove before bed. I thought that made me a good partner. Turns out it just made me a really efficient idiot. My ex-fiancée is Lauren, 29, female. When we met, she walked into my buddy's rooftop barbecue like she was bringing the sun with her. Loud laugh, red dress, hair in this messy bun that somehow looked intentional. She talked with her hands, told dramatic stories about her job in social media marketing, and within 10 minutes, she had my friends hanging on every word. She picked me somehow, said she liked that I listened more than I talked, that I felt steady in a world full of chaos. I fell hard. The first year was that disgusting movie kind of love. Late-night tacos, staying up until 3 a.m., talking about childhood dreams, arguing about which dog we'd adopt after we get married, like that was just a foregone conclusion. But there were cracks I didn't want to look at. She had this need to be needed. If a friend texted having a rough night, she'd drop everything and drive across town with ice cream and wine. Sweet at first, until I realized she did it for everyone except me. When I was stressed, she'd get impatient. You're overthinking, just chill. Then there was Eric, 30, male, her ex. We're just friends now, she said the first time his name came up, scrolling past a notification on her phone so fast I almost didn't see it. They dated all through college. On again, off again, lots of history. According to her, he was a good guy with bad luck who was trying to get his life together. Every time she said that, my stomach did this little flip I pretended was nothing. I make good money. Lauren doesn't do badly either, but she spends like money is a renewable emotion. Brunches, outfits, self-care weekends. When we got engaged last year, her Pinterest board exploded. Rustic barn venue, live band, flower wall, champagne tower. I had a simple Google sheet. She had a mood board and a dream. We compromised, at least I thought we did. We opened a separate wedding savings account. I put in most of it. She promised she'd catch up once her bonus hit. We sat on the couch one night, my laptop open, her head on my shoulder, naming the account together. Our future, she typed in the memo line, added a heart, and kissed me. I didn't know then that $8,000 from our future was already mentally tagged for Eric's next disaster. Wedding planning was like slowly building a glitter-covered stress bomb. A year out, it was cute. We toured venues hand in hand, took selfies in front of barns and industrial lofts, argued about buffet versus plated. 6 months out, it got real. Lauren had this massive color-coded planning binder. I had the Google sheet with our savings, deposits, due dates. We landed on this gorgeous old brick venue downtown, string lights, exposed beams, the whole Pinterest fantasy. The contract was in my name because my credit score was better. I didn't think twice about that. We had about 12 grand saved in the wedding account when everything started to tilt. Eric never disappeared the way exes usually do. There were always little touches. A random, "Oh, Eric used to love this place" when we passed a bar. Her phone lighting up with E when we were watching Netflix and her flipping it over, laughing it off. Once at 1:30 a.m., I woke up to her on the balcony whispering into her phone. When she came back in, her eyes were shiny. "He's just going through a lot," she said, sliding into bed and turning away from me. "He doesn't have family like yours." I told myself I was being insecure, jealous, controlling, all the words you don't want to be. The night the $8,000 vanished, I was at my desk finishing a bug fix. My phone buzzed with a fraud alert email. Unusual activity from your joint savings account. My stomach dropped like I'd missed a step in the dark. I opened the banking app and just stared. Withdrawal, $8,000. Memo. Bail. Recipient. Some county corrections account I recognized from the news. I just knew. Before I even processed the numbers, I knew. Lauren came in about 20 minutes later, hair messy, mascara smudged, smelling like cold air and someone else's cigarette. No keys jingling because she'd obviously left in a hurry. "Hey," she said too brightly, dropping her purse on the table. You ate without me? I turned my laptop around so she could see the transaction. What is this? Her whole face flickered. Guilt, panic, then this weird defiant tilt to her chin. Okay, breathe, Matt. It's Eric, all right? He got arrested. It's a misunderstanding. They set bail insanely high, and if he stayed in there, it would ruin his job, his probation. You took $8,000 from our wedding fund, I said. My voice sounded calm, almost bored, which scared me more than if I'd screamed. My hands were shaking. He called me from a jail phone, Matt. Her voice went up an octave. He has nobody. His mom blocked his number. His dad's gone. What was I supposed to do, let him rot in there with actual criminals? I stood up. You were supposed to call me. She laughed, this broken, hysterical sound. Oh, right, because you'd totally understand. You hate him. You'd rather he die than slightly delay our stupid champagne tower. That's our money, our future. You stole from me. The word stole snapped something in her. She shoved my laptop closed so hard it slammed, then grabbed it again and hurled it onto the couch. It bounced, hit the coffee table, knocked over a glass candle that shattered on the floor. Wax and glass everywhere. Don't you dare call me a thief, she screamed, tears streaming. I did the right thing. I saved someone. You save digits in a spreadsheet. I save actual people. I stared at the glittering shards of glass around my feet, the broken wax imprint of what used to be a perfect white candle. All I could think was, that was supposed to be on our sweetheart table. Something in me went very, very quiet. This isn't about Eric, she sobbed. This is about you wanting to control me. No, I thought. This is about me finally seeing you. Update 1. So, wow. I did not expect this to blow up the way it did. I posted yesterday shaking so bad I kept hitting backspace, and then I woke up to like 1,000 comments telling me I'm not crazy. Some of you were gentle, some of you were like, Matt, my guy, run. A surprising number of you suggested I pawn the ring and set her wedding binder on fire. Tempting. Deeply tempting. A lot of you asked what happened after she threw the candle and called me controlling. She didn't calm down. She went nuclear. When I told her again, very slowly, that she took money without my consent, she grabbed the framed engagement photo off the console table and hurled it at the wall. The glass shattered, the frame split, and our smiling faces ended up half under the couch, warped behind broken glass. For some reason, that hit me harder than the bank account screenshot. She started pacing, yanking decorations off shelves, crying, saying stuff like, I knew you'd never understand, and if Eric kills himself, it's on you. That one physically hurt, like I felt it in my chest. I didn't yell. I told her I was freezing the wedding fund until we figured this out. I moved the remaining money into an account with just my name while she was in the bathroom still sobbing and cursing me out to whoever she was texting. Yes, I know. A few of you will say that was petty. I genuinely don't care. She slept on the couch that night, or at least she pretended to. I barely slept at all. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that withdrawal $8,000 line and her saying she saved actual people, and I just felt small. Like I was this boring, safe ATM she tolerated. Today, I called the venue. This is where some of you are going to yell at me again, but I need you to know. I'm not in the headspace to play nice anymore. I told the coordinator I needed to review finances and asked about their cancellation policy. We'd lose the deposit, but the remaining balance isn't due yet. I didn't cancel, not yet. But I put a hold on all vendor payments. I also called my parents and my best man, Tyler, 32, male, and told them everything. I asked them very clearly, if this wedding gets canceled last minute, will you back me up? They both said yes. And then Tyler said, if you really want her to see what she did, don't call it off yet. Let her walk herself right into the truth. The morning after that post and that fight, the apartment felt wrong. Lauren was humming in the kitchen, like full-on humming some pop song while making coffee as if she hadn't shattered a picture of us and called me a controlling asshole 12 hours earlier. She was in one of my old hoodies, hair in a messy bun, barefoot, scrolling on her phone between stirring sugar. Morning, she said, like nothing had happened. We need to finalize the seating chart today. My mom is freaking out about where to put Aunt Denise. I just stared at her. You spent $8,000 of our wedding fund on your ex's bail. She rolled her eyes, actually rolled them. We're still on this? Matt, I told you it was an emergency. I did what I had to do. Can we please move forward? We have like 3 weeks. Did he pay you back? Silence. Her thumbs froze over her phone. He will, she snapped. He just needs time. I walked over and held out my hand. Give me your phone. She clutched it to her chest. No, that's insane. I was done being the reasonable one. I just said, if you didn't do anything wrong, you won't mind. That's when she shoved me. Not hard enough to knock me over, but enough. Enough that my back bumped the counter, the coffee mug rattled and spilled hot liquid across the marble. My chest went cold and hot at the same time. Stop trying to police me, she shouted, voice cracking. I am not your child. I'm not one of your stupid Jira tickets you can control with a button. Lauren, you pushed me. Oh my God, are you seriously going to weaponize that right now? Her eyes were wild, tears pooling. You're the one threatening our future over a human being who needed help. My watch buzzed. New email. Instinctively, my eyes flicked to it. Password reset request for our joint bank login. Are you trying to get back into the account? I asked. She froze for a millisecond, then lunged for my laptop on the table. I got there first, slamming it shut and tucking it under my arm. She grabbed for it, nails scraping my forearm hard enough to leave red lines. Then, when she realized I wasn't letting go, she screamed and hurled her own phone at the wall. It hit with a sickening crack and slid to the floor, screen spiderwebbed. There, she panted. Happy? Now you can't stalk my messages. Something inside me clicked. I set the laptop down, picked up her destroyed phone, and placed it gently on the counter between us like an offering. We're not a team, I said quietly. You just confirmed it. That afternoon, while she was at brunch with the girls, which, judging by the Uber drop-off, was suspiciously near Eric's neighborhood, I called the venue back. This time, I canceled. Full stop. Date released. Contract formally terminated in my name. Deposit gone. But so was another gigantic bill I was supposed to shoulder for someone who clearly didn't see me as a partner. Then I called the florist, the DJ, the photographer. Every single one. I told them the wedding was off, but asked them for one favor. Keep it quiet if Lauren called. Direct everything through me. Finally, with Tyler on speaker, I opened the guest list spreadsheet. We drafted a message together. Hey everyone, Matt here. The wedding is canceled. Please don't contact Lauren about it yet. There will still be a rehearsal dinner on the original date. I need you not to show up. Sweet revenge doesn't always look like fireworks. Sometimes it looks like an empty room. The weirdest part was how quickly Lauren slid back into playing fiancée. To everyone else, we looked normal again. On Instagram, she was posting flat lays of invitation suites and close-ups of her manicure with the caption, soon. In real life, she'd alternate between being extra clingy and ice cold. One night, she climbed into my lap on the couch, wrapped her arms around my neck and whispered, I know I scared you. I'm sorry, okay? I can't watch someone I care about suffer. I stared at the engagement ring on her finger. I'd picked it out myself. Simple solitaire, thin gold band, exactly what she'd said she wanted when we'd walked past jewelry stores, just for fun. That ring had been a symbol of us. Now it just looked like debt. Is he still texting you? I asked. She stiffened. Can we not bring Eric into every conversation? Her phone buzzed on the coffee table. She lunged faster than I've ever seen her move, snatched it up, and turned her screen away. For a split second, I saw his name. I felt my jaw clench so hard it hurt. You spent our wedding money on him. He's in every conversation. That triggered the switch again. She launched off my lap, almost knocking my glasses sideways. You will not shame me for being loyal, she snapped. You think you're better than him because you sit at a desk? You don't know what it's like to crawl out of a hole with everyone rooting for you to fail. I know what it's like to sacrifice for someone who would never do the same, I said before I could stop myself. She grabbed the throw pillow next to her and hurled it at my head, then swept her arm across the coffee table, sending coasters and remotes clattering to the floor. The same table we'd built together from an IKEA box was now smeared with spilled wine and a deep gouge from where one of the candle holders hit. Maybe I should just give this back, she said suddenly, yanking the ring off her finger. For a second, I thought she was actually going to hand it to me. Instead, she walked into the kitchen, held it over the sink, and turned the garbage disposal on. I moved without thinking. My hand shot out, grabbing her wrist so hard she gasped. The disposal roared under the stainless steel, this ugly mechanical scream. "Don't," I said. My voice shook. "That is the one thing I fully paid for myself. You don't get to destroy it because you're spiraling." Her eyes filled with tears, but they were rage, not hurt. "You're hurting me," she whispered, glancing at my fingers on her arm like I'd branded her. I let go instantly. She staggered back dramatically, bumping into the cabinet, then slid to the floor, sobbing so loud I was sure the neighbors could hear. "You're scaring me, Matt. You're not the person I agreed to marry." Funny, I thought, staring at the ring still glittering in my palm. Neither are you. That night, while she took a bubble bath and posted a selfie with the caption, "So exhausted but grateful," I slipped the ring box out of my sock drawer. I put the ring back in, closed it, and dropped it into my backpack. Mine now. A receipt, not a promise. In the days leading up to the rehearsal, I played my part. I practiced polite smiles with her parents. I nodded through conversations about centerpieces. I answered her texts about timing with "sounds good," while secretly confirming with every single guest that they understood, "do not show up." I also called the restaurant hosting the rehearsal dinner. Pulled the manager aside, told him quietly, "There might be a scene. If my fiancé causes any damage, I will pay whatever I have to. But I need the room empty except for us." He gave me a long look, then said, "You sure you want to do it this way, man?" No. God, no. But I needed Lauren to see the same empty space in front of her that she'd carved into me. Update 2. Okay, so I wasn't going to post again until after the rehearsal, but things went off the rails faster than I thought. First off, I read way more of your comments than is probably healthy. A bunch of you said what I'm doing with the empty rehearsal dinner is cinematic but cruel, and that I should just dump her and move out. Some of you said it's the only way she'll actually get it. One comment that stuck with me was, "You're planning a mirror, not a prank. Make sure you can live with what you see in it too." Yeah, that's been rattling around in my skull. Anyway, new chaos. 2 days ago, Lauren showed up at my job. No warning. I'm in our open plan office, headphones on, trying to debug some ugly API issue, and suddenly I hear my name being practically screamed over the cubicle wall. I look up and there she is, red-faced, hair wild, in this too-tight white dress she'd bought for her bridal shower, marching past my coworkers' desks. "Why aren't you answering your texts?" she snaps, right in front of my manager's office. "What are you hiding, Matt?" My Slack had been muted for like an hour, that's it. I try to steer her toward the hallway, but she jerks her arm away and grabs my phone off my desk. Full-on snatches it, nails scraping the screen. When it doesn't unlock to her face, she loses it and slams it down so hard my monitor wobbles, and a coffee mug tips over onto my keyboard. Everyone is staring. My manager steps out, eyebrows up. "Is everything all right here?" he asks in that HR voice people get when they're already emailing someone. Lauren immediately flips into victim mode. Tears on command. "He's been lying to me," she chokes out. "He's locked me out of our accounts. He's hiding things. I don't even know if the wedding is real anymore." That last part hits different because I know it isn't. I just say, "We're having a personal issue. I'll walk her out." My manager nods, but his face says we are absolutely talking about this later. In the parking lot, Lauren turns on me, eyes blazing. "Are you cheating on me?" she demands. "Is that why you're so cold? Is that why you moved the money?" I actually laughed, which did not help. "You bailed out your ex with our wedding fund," I said. "If anyone's cheating, it's not me." She slapped me. Not a movie slap, a real, messy one that glanced off my cheek and half hit my neck. It stung. She immediately gasped, like she couldn't believe she'd done it, then went for my backpack, where the ring is. I grabbed it first. "You don't get to keep everything," she hissed, eyes on the bag like a predator. "You don't get to hoard the money and the ring and pretend you're the victim." I got in my car and locked the doors while she pounded on the window, crying and begging me not to abandon her. Rehearsal dinner is tonight. I'm sitting in the parking lot of the restaurant right now, reading your DMs, feeling my heart try to climb out of my throat. I've never done anything this cold in my life. But then I remember her laughing off the $8,000 like it was nothing. If she can spend our future on her past, she can walk into an empty room and face the present. Walking into the restaurant felt like walking into a trap I'd set for myself, too. Lauren was buzzing, literally bouncing on her heels in the parking lot, fixing her lipstick in the reflection of my car window. She'd picked a white lace dress that looked suspiciously close to an actual wedding dress, with these stupid pearl hairpins she kept adjusting. "Do I look okay?" she asked for the fifth time. "You look like you," I said, because I couldn't bring myself to say beautiful anymore without tasting ash. The host recognized us immediately. "Private room in the back," he said, giving me this quick, searching look. My heart was pounding so hard I could barely hear. The room was set up perfectly. Long table, white tablecloths, simple candles, menus tucked into folded napkins. And that was it. No flowers, no guests, no noise. Lauren didn't clock it at first. "Cute," she said, sliding into the seat at the head of the table like a queen. "We're early, right?" We were 10 minutes late. I checked my watch anyway. "Yeah, early." 5 minutes went by. She scrolled on her phone, frowning a little. "My mom's usually the first one there for anything free," she joked, then texted furiously. "Group chat says they're on their way." They weren't. Every single person had texted me thinking of you earlier. 10 more minutes, candles flickering. The restaurant noise outside the private room felt like it was happening on another planet. Lauren started pacing, her heels clicking against the hardwood. "This is rude," she muttered. "Did your parents hit traffic? Where's Tyler? He knows I hate being first." I watched her walk past the empty chairs, little ghosts of people who were never coming. "Maybe they're not coming," I said quietly. She froze. "What?" I took a breath that tasted like metal. "I canceled the wedding." She laughed. Actually laughed. "Shut up. No, you didn't." "I canceled the venue, the vendors, the whole thing." I pulled my phone out and slid it across the table. Confirmation emails, refund notices, the canceled contract from the venue. "Everyone knows. I asked them not to come tonight." Her face went white, then red so fast it was like watching a storm roll in. "You're joking," she whispered. When I didn't say anything, she grabbed a water glass and hurled it at the wall. It exploded. Water, glass, the sharp crack echoing. The host cracked the door open. I held up a hand without looking away from her. He closed it again. "You embarrassed me," she screamed, voice raw. "You humiliated me on purpose, in public. Are you proud of yourself? Is this fun for you?" "You spent $8,000 of our wedding fund on your ex's bail," I said, my voice low. "You humiliated me the second you chose him over us." She lunged across the table for my backpack. I yanked it back. She kept coming, knocking over 2 chairs. A candle toppled and rolled, wax spilling like a slow white bleed. "Give me the ring," she sobbed. "You don't get to keep the ring after this." I stood up, heart hammering, and pulled the little box out. Her eyes lit up like she thought I was going to drop to one knee and apologize. Instead, I opened it, looked at the ring, then slipped it into my pocket. "I paid for it," I said. "It goes with me." The sound she made then didn't sound human. She lunged across the table at me. Not for me, for the pocket with the ring. Nails out, eyes wild, knocking plates and cutlery to the floor as she scrambled over the chair. I stepped back. She caught my shirt anyway, fingers bunching the fabric so hard a button popped and skittered under the table. "Give it back!" she screamed. "You don't get to blow up my life and walk away with everything." I grabbed her wrists to get her to stop hitting me. She twisted, deliberately throwing herself sideways so we both crashed into the chairs. One toppled over with a loud crack. I went down onto my knee, my shoulder slamming into the edge of the table. Pain shot up my arm. From outside the room I heard a plate shatter and someone curse. The door flew open. The manager and our server rushed in, both wide-eyed. "Sir, ma'am, you need to calm down," the manager said, voice tight. Lauren wrenched herself free of me like I was attacking her. "He assaulted me," she gasped, pointing at the faint red marks on her wrist from my grip. "He trapped me alone in here and told everyone not to come. He's been hiding money, I just stood up slowly, breathing hard. "We're done," I said. "There's no wedding. There's no we. I rented this room to tell you that in private. That's it." She froze for half a second, reading my face, and I think that's when it finally landed. She'd really lost me. Then she exploded. She grabbed one of the candles and whipped it at the wall, wax splattering like white blood. She swept her arm down the table, sending silverware and glassware crashing to the floor in a glittering, deafening wave. The server actually jumped back. "You ruined my life," she shrieked. "You're pathetic, Matt. You're so boring you had to turn this into your big movie moment. Nobody will ever love you the way I did." I almost laughed. "You never loved me," I said quietly. "You loved the safety net. Eric was always the one you wanted to save." Her eyes narrowed. "You think he'll take me back now?" she spat. "After you do this to me?" I shrugged. "You already picked him. I'm just taking my money and my ring back." The manager finally stepped in, hands up. "Ma'am, if you don't stop damaging property, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Or call the police." The word police made her flinch like she'd been slapped again. I watched the calculation flicker across her face. Eric, bail, probation, consequences. She grabbed her purse, breathing like a bull. On her way out, she shoved a chair so hard it slammed into the wall, denting the drywall. Then she shouldered past me, deliberately knocking into my bad shoulder. "You'll regret this," she hissed in my ear. "I will make sure everyone knows what you did." In the parking lot, she went for round two, while I paid the manager for the damages and tipped the hell out of the server. I could see her through the glass doors, pacing by my car. By the time I walked out, there were long white scratches on my driver's side door and one windshield wiper was bent backward. She saw me clock it and smiled, this sick, satisfied little curl of her lip. "Call the cops," she said. "Tell them your crazy ex keyed your car after you humiliated her. See who believes you." I took my phone out, not to dial 911, but to take pictures. The car, her, the shredded rehearsal dress dragging on the gravel. She tried to slap the phone away. I stepped back. "Get away from me, Lauren," I said. "We're done. You contact me again for anything that isn't strictly logistical, I file a report." Her bravado cracked then. Tears poured down her face. She grabbed my arm with both hands, clinging. "Please don't leave me," she sobbed. "I did everything for us. I just made one mistake. I can fix this. I'll call the venue. I'll work overtime. "You didn't make one mistake," I said. "You made the same choice over and over. You just finally ran out of my money to cushion it." I peeled her fingers off my arm, one by one, got in the car, and locked the doors. She pounded on the window again, mascara streaking, mouthing something I didn't bother to read. Driving away felt like driving out of a burning city. The next few days were hell in a different way. She blew up my phone from every number she could find, called my parents, Tyler, even my manager, who thankfully already knew the basics and shut it down. She posted some dramatic Instagram story about being betrayed by the person you trust most, but my little preemptive group text apparently worked. Most people just reached out to me instead of feeding it. The sweetest revenge wasn't the empty room. It was the silence that settled after everyone heard the truth. I sent her one final message, a screenshot of the $8,000 bail withdrawal and a single text. "You spent our wedding on his freedom. Now you're free too. Don't contact me again." Then I blocked her everywhere. Weeks later, Tyler and I were cleaning out the last of my stuff from the apartment when I found the broken engagement photo behind the couch, glass still cracked over our faces. I slid the picture out, tore it clean down the middle, and kept my half, the side where I was smiling like I believed in forever. The ring? It's in a box in my safe deposit. I'll sell it eventually, maybe use it for a down payment on a place that's just mine. But for now, I like knowing that the one thing she couldn't twist or smash or bail someone out with is sitting somewhere quiet, exactly where I left it, unlike me.